We were thinking that Black Shadow was gonna be the queen of DPS for a long time, but Shift Up was like, hold my beer, let me show you what I have in store. So let's talk a little bit about the latest character added into the game, Cinderella, how good she is, how stupid good she is. Like, she is the best DPS in the game right now by far, even above Black Shadow. So let's talk a little bit about this. As usual, hello the internet, welcome back to the Waifus. I'm Sefhi, your favorite gambling addict, and today we're gonna be talking about Cinderella and just in general why it's worth putting for her 100%. Now, to understand this and why this is important, and why everyone is freaking out, if you will, right? My SBS, as you can see, is my second strongest character. Only Laplace with the treasure is above Core 7, right? So Core 2 SBS, fully invested with good lines, versus a Cinderella, only one copy. Also, I invested in her, right? Only one copy, bond level 10, gear level 4, skills 10, 10, 10. And I'm using a Bastion on her or the max HP cube, both work. She is doing more damage than my SBS. Not only she is doing more damage than my SBS, she is doing more damage than my Ludmilla on water weak content, than my Quincy, than any other character. She is overpowering them. Now, this is even without Rogue. Is she doing more damage with max HP buffs and with Rogue specifically? Yes. But even without Rogue, I was testing with Declare Wife too to be like, okay, let's put Declare Wife and see if it makes a difference if that max HP is actually that huge or not. But no, she's still doing more and dealing more damage than even SBS with other characters. Of course, it's also important to understand that if you were to pair SBS with a really good Alice and manual Alice, you would probably be still getting the same damage, more or less, right? Probably SBS maybe a little above, depending on the investment of your characters. In my case, SBS would be doing more, just because of the cost and everything else, but I don't like manual. That's why Cinderella is so good, because she is auto-friendly. In fact, they finally fixed it. After 2 years, they gave us a good rocket launcher that you can just hold, press, and it shoots, and you don't have to worry. This is what they should have done with every single rocket launcher and a sniper rifle, by the way, but they don't want to do it because they are lazy bitches. Yes, Shift Up, you are. Now, we took another video tomorrow probably about the pop-ups and everything else going on with the new update. So let's talk a little bit more about Cinderella and once again why she is so good. Because when she came out, when she was announced, we were like, okay, the kit looks simple, but even if it looks simple, the new shooting mechanic plus the decoy most likely is what is going to be making her so strong. And in fact, it is what's making her hit like a truck. Now, do you need to go 10, 10, 10? I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't go anything lower than 10, 7, 10. And the only reason to go at least 7 on the decoy is because sometimes these decoys you know that will die. So I will say, just in case if you're pushing a hard campaign on a really big deficit, you want your decoy to be alive. So the higher the level, the more HP that your decoy will have. So all in all, I will say it's a really good skill even to level up, and you also get the max HP buff stacking up to 12 times. We've said this for the last 6 months probably, but Shift Up is making characters that require investment spread out over all their skills. They are no longer making these characters that we can go 10 for 10, that we can just leave one skill without investment, like it would be a Scarlet, like it would be Alice, like it would be all of these other units, right? Can you leave the decoy at 4? You could leave it at 4, but once again, I would at least go 10, 7, 10, just in case you're pushing hard campaign, and because it's more max HP, which also benefits to her own damage. When it comes to the cube, interestingly enough, resilience is not as important, but it depends what team you're using, because she has 2 seconds of reload time, right? So depending on what team you're using, for example with Crown, makes no sense going resilience. I've been going with Bastion and it's been pretty good, but the HP cube, the Vigor one, it's making her deal even more damage. Now the thing is that I don't have a good Vigor cube, it's level 5 only. So in terms of pure stats, I'm getting more, of course, by going with Resilience or with Bastion, just because I'm getting more HP. Again, 27k versus getting 20k. It's a difference. So if you have a good Vigor cube, she will benefit a lot from that. If not, you can go Bastion or Resilience, whatever you want. As usual, the higher your cube it is, more base stats, that's what you care. Now, also important, she was doing the same damage yesterday without a doll, with just like a phase 0 doll, and then I actually took the doll and put it phase 15, and now she's just destroying absolutely everybody on my roster. So All in all, it's pretty funny how Shift Up decided to be like, okay, you guys like SBS? There you go, some company for Electro now. Now, we have to also understand two things. First of all, this is going to be a character that automatically, right, automatically, it's going to be coming into the tier list in the balanced tier. There is no other place for her. Like, she is a character that is going to be evergreen, OP, whatever you want to call her, right? She is going to be on this tier with SBS, Crown, and Redwood. And then the second part that we have to understand is that Shift Up will be releasing most likely every 6 months to a year a character for a new element that will be on this tier. A really powerful character for the new element that's going to be up here. So next might be water, might be fire, might be whatever they decide to go with. I don't think they're going to be repeating elements for these pilgrims for now, because they keep moving into the elemental content, so we need 5 teams for each, but not all the elements have these really strong characters. So for example, water got recently Quincy and Phantom, but they're not as good as SBS or now Cinderella, right? Same for fire. Fire has really powerful units, so fire is kind of on a great spot, I will say. They are pretty good if you have your Alice and your Modernia invested. They are still characters that can compete and put up a really good fight. So I'm expecting the next one to be water, and we'll see who it is. Maybe it's Liberalio, and I'm lucky and I get the character that I like as a really strong one. I will still keep testing before I update the tier list and the website with everything else. And we have to also talk about the new Rapunzel and a couple more things, but that's for another video. Now, all that jumping aside, all that said is gonna be it for this one. Shorter videos from now on. I think we need to be extending them for 8, 10, 12 minutes. We're not monetized anyway, so fuck it. That's it. Love you all, bosses. Have a great day and see you in the next one.
役立たずは楽園から追放するのみ。ブランとノワールのショータイムです。天地万物を切るとはこういうことだ。